Well, hey everybody, today we're diving into the world of e-bikes with a review of the Movin Tempo Max, a Canadian designed e-bike that's got some impressive range as well as some all-terrain capabilities. And spoiler alert, it's a really good e-bike. So if you haven't heard of Movin, they're actually a Toronto-based Canadian company with a store located in Little Italy, right in downtown Toronto. But they also partner with various bike stores across the province. They also have a dealer in Winnipeg and Vancouver. And they also recently opened up a location in New York. So as of the date of this video, they currently sell 4 bike models: the Mini, the Tempo, the Tempo Max, and the Tempo Pulse. So for this review video, we're going to be looking at the Tempo Max, which retails for $23.99 Canadian. So just to preface this video, there was no cash exchange involved in reviewing this bike. Rather, I was given this bike by Movin in exchange for an honest video review of it. So all the opinions are my own with no influence. But anyways, let's start with a quick overview of the bike. The Tempo Max composes of a very, very sleek aluminum frame, ensuring durability without compromising on weight. And coming in at over 50 pounds with the battery installed, it's actually pretty manageable for most riders. The bike also comes in eye-catching colors such as vivid orange like this one, frost white, and classic black. It comes equipped with puncture-resistant tires, a bright and handy display, a 30 lux front light with integrated rear braking lights, an adjustable Suntour suspension fork, and Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. And under the hood, or rather on the frame, comes a 500-watt brushless geared rear hub motor. So this motor is combined with a 48-volt, 20-amp Samsung lithium-ion battery, a very hefty one indeed, which will give you a range of up to 80 kilometers, depending on riding conditions and how much you use the throttle, which I kind of use it a lot. Yeah, skinny legs. So it comes with a pair of keys to lock the battery in place, but also comes with a port here so that you can charge the battery. However, the battery is completely removable, which is very handy if you live in an apartment or a condo where you have to leave your bike locked up and bring the battery upstairs to charge with you. The Movin Tempo Max also comes with 5 levels of pedal assist, which you can adjust through the display. And it also has a throttle, which is great for a quick start. And it also comes with 7 gears, which I haven't really seen too often in e-bikes, but I'm really glad that it's included. So now it's time for the unboxing bit. If you're in the GTA, you can actually have them assemble the bike for you for in-store pickup after. However, unboxing and assembling it yourself is actually pretty straightforward. All you have to do is attach the handlebars, attach the front tire, wire in the front light, and add in a little air to the tires, and you're good to go. So Sip and I actually spent the last week with the bike and took it out through some of the various trails and bike paths throughout the city. And if you're familiar with Toronto, you know we're full of bumps and potholes in our bike lanes, but riding the Movin Tempo Max through the city actually felt smooth, responsive, and generally pretty safe. So thanks to things such as the adjustable suspension fork, the Tempo Max actually handled bumps, cracks, and uneven pavement like a champ. And when getting stopped at intersections, that half-twist throttle actually gave me enough of a boost that I needed to get going again quickly. Especially helpful when you're trying to clear the intersection. So the throttle response isn't too zippy, it actually feels quite controlled, so you don't feel like the bike is just going to start taking off without you. Riding at night actually wasn't too bad too, so the front light is actually strong enough that I don't feel I have to get a second light for the handlebars, unlike some of my past bikes. And it's actually really nice too that the rear brake lights kick in as soon as you start squeezing the brakes, so it gives you that added layer of visibility at night. And here's what Sip thought about it.
It's very well built. It's very well built. I like the sturdiness of the kickstand. Seat is comfortable. This grip is really comfortable on the hand. Pickup on the pedal assist. It hits really fast and it hits really good. If you don't want to pedal, the throttle has pretty good uptake. I'm used to electric scooters where the torque is a little stronger, but in terms of a pedal assist bike, this is probably one of the best pedal assist bikes I've ever had. I do wish the bell was on the left side, but that might interfere with the screen, which is really useful. The brakes are, they have a good pressure and they're sensitive without being like overly sensitive.
I'm gonna squeeze the brake.
So this first little bit is kind of just the grip, and then around there it starts going,
Yeah.
locking. Suspension's pretty good, smooth ride. You have to make sure you have the right air in the tire, otherwise it won't be good. Also, we love the wheels.
We really love the design of the wheels.
Yeah, we like the
spokes.
The spokes. We like the 3 pronged spokes.
I used to have as a kid like those little things that go up and down the spokes. So then when you ride your bike, you hear like it sounded musical.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know if you know about those. I got them in a cereal box.
I mean, my one concern with these spokes is I don't know where to put the card to make the...
Yeah. You're very impressed?
Mm-hmm. Very impressed. The battery comes out pretty easily, but you can charge it this way too. You do need the key to take out the battery. And then the gear changing is really cool when you're riding. You push this all the way up to go to your lowest gear, and then you slowly go to the highest gear by clicking that.
So here's a quick summary of the pros and cons of this bike. The wide comfortable seat, the grippy handlebars, and the amazing suspension soaked up the impact without jarring my wrists or back, making the ride way more comfortable than I expected for an e-bike at this price range. The battery range is perfect for urban commuting, listed coming in at 80 kilometers. In my own test, I was able to get about 40 kilometers with a mix of throttle and pedal assist and still have 35% battery left. So it's pretty on spot with what they're listing. However, I do use the throttle a lot, especially for quick starts at intersections, which, speaking of the throttle, it's actually one of the most intuitive throttles I've ever had on an e-bike. It actually does a pretty good job at ramping up speed gradually, but also seems to prioritize pedal input. So if you're throttling and you start to pedal too, it'll actually prioritize your pedaling over the throttling, which is great because it gives you a good sense of control of the bike. So as you've seen, the pedal assist has 5 different levels which you can adjust to help out depending on the slope or type of terrain you're actually tackling. It's actually quite responsive too, which makes climbing steeper hills feel like spreading warm butter on toast. Is it spreading cold butter on warm toast? Cutting a hot knife through warm butter. I can't think of any more euphemisms here. So this is my first time using such an advanced braking system that I feel really spoiled by these brakes. The Techno brakes are actually really responsive and they feel nice to press down when braking. So now it's time for the cons, but thankfully there's not too many of them. So first, the placement of the belt. It's kind of like what Sip mentioned. So I didn't think much of it when he first pointed it out, but after riding it some more, I started to realize that the placement was a bit awkward. For example, I have to take my hand off the throttle to ding the bell. And when I want to pass people and let them know that I'm there, it's kind of hard to sort of juggle those two things. However, it looks like you can actually remove the bell and possibly put it on the other side of the handlebars. But I think that's just a preference for me and Sip and not necessarily something that the average user of this bike would consider a problem. And second actually is that the assembly instructions I was given don't actually have instructions on how to attach the front tire. So literally all it says is to unpack the bike, ensure the front fork is facing forwards, install the handlebars, install the pedals, inflate tires, done. So it also didn't mention how you have to attach the front light and plug in the wire. However, both of these things we were actually able to figure out pretty easily, considering it was our first time putting together a bike, so they weren't deal breakers. So the third and final con, which does have to be mentioned if you are buying an e-bike. So with the range of 80 kilometers, which is decent, some people might require more, especially if you're going to be using this bike for longer commutes or doing food delivery. That said though, for about an extra $200, you can get their longer range bike, the Movin Pulse, which has a dual battery system and has a very impressive 200 kilometer range. So yeah, all in all, I actually really love this bike. I always felt safe. I always felt I was in control. It's sturdy, responsive, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna buck me off if I have to avoid a rogue squirrel running in front of me. So whether you're weaving through traffic or just going on a leisurely ride through the city, a bike like the Tempo Max makes a commute feel more like a joyride throughout the city. So yeah, until next time guys, thanks for watching, I appreciate it, and let me know if you want me to do more of these kind of reviews. I really enjoyed doing this one, and this is a really, really great, fantastic bike. So thanks guys, take it easy.